Hey everyone, Lewis, aka SpiderMan 1991, here with my picks of the week. Now I say picks because this time instead of picking one comic, I have picked two. They both feature the same character, but they are completely different stories. So these came out November 9th. So starting it off, here is one pick, and it is Amazing Spider-Man: The Clone Conspiracy #2. Now, this picks up right where the last issue left off, with Peter encountering a resurrected Dr. Octopus, who is aware that Peter is Spider-Man and relates all his experiences as the superior Spider-Man and stuff. So it is an interesting conversation to see. Also, Peter meets the Jackal, meets the, well, let's say, newly revamped Jackal, who shows him around New U, and also takes him to the room where he has resurrected all of Spider-Man's foes that have died, but they don't attack him, which is which is really funny. Also, we get the return of a Spider-Man ally who hasn't been seen since Spider-Verse, who's here to warn Peter about what teaming up with New U could lead to, and it apparently destroys the world and stuff, because this character has seen it on many alternate Earths. All right, so Clone Conspiracy, I'm still loving this series. Dan Slott has built up this event for months, and that's his writing style. Whenever it comes to a huge Spider-Man event, he always plants seeds as he's writing the series, and then when it finally comes to the big event, it always usually, in my opinion, it usually pays off. I mean, whenever he does a big Spider-Man story, it's memorable, it's something that people talk about, and it is very entertaining. And I think that is something we are getting with Clone Conspiracy, because Peter Parker, his thing is whenever he always tries to make sure that no one dies, and if someone does die, it lives with him forever. Now he's getting the experience of people who have died on his watch are now coming back. So I think that is definitely a very interesting scenario for Peter Parker to be in, and also to see what he's going to do about it. The other book I have that I wanted to talk about is Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows #1. This is going to be the ongoing title that features on an alternate Earth where Peter Parker and Mary Jane are still married, and they have their daughter Anna. Now, this was a series that was published during Marvel's Secret Wars event, which let us see a ton of alternate Marvel realities, and one of them was aptly titled Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows. And in that reality, Peter Parker had to team up with his wife and daughter in order to stop a supervillain known as Regent, who apparently kidnapped superheroes and used technology to adapt and absorb and replicate their powers. Now, this series, it pretty much starts off with Peter fighting crime, and he's joined by Mary Jane, his wife, who apparently her new suit was made from the remnants of Regent's original suit, which allows her to adapt and replicate Peter Parker's spider powers. And they're also joined by their daughter Anna, although they try to limit her involvement because, well, she is their kid and they want to protect her. The reason and this is a very good issue. I mean, it shows us what kind of situation Peter and Mary Jane are in with raising their daughter who has superpowers. We do get sort of a hint as to who the main antagonist of the series will be. I mean, they try to keep the identity secret, but come on, you can easily figure out by the second panel you see that person in. And overall, I think this series is a very interesting take on Spider-Man. It does remind me of the idea DC Comics had, where they pretty much reintroduced us to the pre-Flashpoint versions of Superman and Lois Lane, who are still married and had a son. Although, unlike that version, though, this is still an alternate reality. They are not living in the main Marvel universe. So it's similar but different. And I think and again, the marriage between Peter Parker and Mary Jane was erased from history. Everyone was angry about it. There was a lot of controversy, but now I feel like fans who grew up reading Spider-Man in the 90s are definitely get their chance to see what could have been. And and I know some people out there who read Spider-Man are kind of getting tired of Dan Slott. So good news, there's another Spider-Man title you can check out because this one's written by Jerry Conway. So yeah, overall, I've got two really good Spider-Man books came out, both different stories, both really impressive. I wasn't sure about and to be honest, I wasn't sure about getting this because I am trying to cut back on some comics, but this really got me interested, and I think I'm going to give it a shot for the first story arc. Okay, so that's it for me. Thanks again for watching another Pick of the Week video. Well, picks. What were your picks for this week? Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with my choices? Let me know.